What's going on, YouTube? Just making a sandwich here. Making a, what do we got today? We got a mesquite smoked chicken breast, some Swiss cheese on some whole wheat bread with a little bit of green leaf lettuce, and also a little bit of some Simply 60 balsamic vinegar salad dressing. Put a little bit of that on the sandwich. It tastes really, really good. So yeah, just camped out here today on some BLM land. Going to be going into town here, taking the trash out. I am in Parker, Arizona. I've got a really nice spot here. A really nice spot. This is called Big River. Big River, right up here on the mountain, on the hill, top of the hill. Really nice spot. Quite a few rigs over there on that side, and then this one of the access points, it comes in over here, and then you can drive all the way up there. A couple of years ago I camped up there, really nice, but I was able to kind of secure this location. Walking in my socks right now. I don't have any shoes on. Beautiful little location here, beautiful spot. Yesterday I changed the fuel filter on the diesel engine yesterday. That went pretty good. And I also changed the oil, the engine oil and filter. That went really good. Went down to Parker, recycled the oil. That's one of the nice reasons to be camped here, close to Parker. Parker's got a Walmart, and Parker pretty much has everything. So I don't know, just camped up here having fun, enjoying the weather. It's a little bit warmer up here than it was in Quartzsite. So I hope you guys are all doing well out there, and I will talk to you later. I am making a couple of repairs onto the RV. I found a leaky propane hose where it connects to the tank. And the crazy part is I replaced both of these hoses last year with new ones, and I was getting a leak right in here. I don't know if you can see that okay. And the seam right there was getting a leak. So it wasn't leaking coming out of where it connected to the tank. It was leaking on this part of the hose. So I ended up replacing it with a new hose. So again, I don't know what happened to this hose, but it started to leak right here on that seam. It was just making a hissing noise, and I detected it just by, I could smell propane. And the hose also, it got really stiff and not very flexible. Lost a lot of its flexibility. So I don't know if it seems to be a different brand. I don't even know if it's the same company, but there's definitely a manufacturer name on this one, and this one, it says it was made in USA. But if you look at the crimping connections between the two, there appears to be a little bit of a difference in the construction. The flanges are crimped a little bit differently on this one. I don't know what the brand was of this one, but I would not buy another one of these again. A RV shop here in Parker had these parts. A great little shop on the main drag in Parker. If you ever need any RV parts, a good place to go. So I'm going to get this one installed. I'm just going to wrap a little bit of Teflon tape around the end of it and thread it in. It should be good to go. Okay, and for the test, I should be able to open this bottle up and not hear anything and not smell anything. Yeah. That sounds better. Yeah, it seems on this hose there's a rubber, like a little rubber gasket that the other hose didn't have. So anyways, just a little bit of a fix here on the propane system. We're all in good working order again. It wouldn't be a bad idea at all having a couple of these extras for backup in the event that you would have a defective hose, but this one's obviously defective, so this one's going in the garbage. And there was one other repair that I recently did, although I didn't film any footage about it because I just wasn't in the mood to film about it. My trailer brakes, I didn't have any trailer brakes the last time I moved the trailer, and I found out about it basically when I went to move the trailer. My trailer brake control switch, this is a P3 Takancha. This screen, when it's lit up, it will tell you whether you are connected to your trailer or you are not. And if you're not connected to your trailer, it will be red, and it will be glowing in red, or however you have it set up. I was able to, first know that I didn't have any brakes by the trailer brake switch. That was the first indicator. If you don't have that type of a brake controller, certainly you're going to know if you don't have any trailer brakes, because you'll know right away when you hit the brake pedal and you don't feel anything, you don't feel any resistance coming from behind. My first thought was, well, I was kind of surprised, number one, because I've never had a problem with it before, but I crawled underneath the trailer where the axles are, and I was just looking at the wiring at the axles. That was the first place that I looked, and sure enough, evidently the power wire coming from the brake controller came disconnected on what appeared to be both axles. And I don't know if it was deliberately done, on purpose. Somebody, messed with it. It's possible. I don't know. But looking at it, it just kind of looked like the connections had come undone. So let's crawl underneath there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, where are we at on wide frame? I think we're on wide frame, so you should probably be able to see it. But yeah, when you're on your trailer brake wiring, this goes for any crawl underneath here. There we go. Okay, just kind of explain this real as simply as I possibly can for novices. If you have a trailer that has trailer brakes, you're going to have your wiring harness, which consists of two wires. One is ground and one is power, which is power coming from your trailer brake controller. So it's very simple, and you just need to identify, in this case here, I have my power wire identified with the blue wire, and my white wire is ground. So it would be a really good idea to do when you're doing your inspections on your RV or whatever trailer you have occasionally, is to crawl underneath here at the axles and look at your connections. And what does that mean? It means give them a tug at if they have butt connectors, check the connections, give them a good tug, make sure that everything is good and connected. So that's a good thing to do during your your pre-trip inspection or however you do it. But this trailer is a tandem axle trailer, so you're going to have the wiring harness. On this case, it's actually split. The wiring harness is split in half between the axles, so you're going to have connections at this axle, and then you'll have connections at the other axle over there. So one of the things I did on this setup here is I took some electrical tape and I just tied everything up. I wrapped the butt connectors with electrical tape, and that's going to insulate them and just keep them a little bit better protected from the elements. And it's a good idea to also make sure that your wiring is secured underneath here. So you might be asking, well, God, that's, you know, it's all hanging like that. Well, you know, it's important that loose is better when it comes to your wiring. You don't want things too tight, so you need to make sure you allow enough for axle articulation. You know, when you're driving through the washes, or you know, that's one place where you can definitely get some good axle articulation. So you definitely want more wire. You don't want your wiring tight. But anyways, yeah, to kind of keep it simple, stupid. It's pretty, you know, all you do, you basically come underneath here. But this would be one of the first places that I would diagnose if you don't have trailer brakes. You know, go right to the source and identify and make sure that your connections are all tight together. You know, if your trailer brakes were working before and then they quit working, this is probably, you know, one of the key areas it could be. It could be a lot of things. You know, your grounds play a big part in your trailer brake system. And I'm going to show you one other important wire on the grounding system. Okay, so I'm walking back over here to the truck, and this is the trailer plug connection that connects into the fifth wheel. So the other wire you want to make sure that is grounded correctly is this wire coming into your plug. And in this case, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all the way underneath here, but on my truck, it has been grounded. Let's see. Oh, it's been grounded up here. It's been grounded right to the frame. Okay, so this is another thing to identify. There it is right here. It's been grounded right to the frame. So it's a good idea to go underneath and, you know, just identify and check your connections, make sure that they're good, give them a good tug, make sure that everything is good and connected. And then up here is where the trailer plug connection connects into the truck wiring harness for the lights and everything, and the trailer brake controller. So it's a good idea to get acquainted with these, and, you know, just identify and make sure that they're in good working condition. And as far as on the trailer goes, while we're talking about grounds, I'll just quickly kind of go over this one. This is another connection here that you want to make sure. Now this is on the fifth wheel. Most fifth wheels should be they should all be in the same place, but this is your ground connection here on the fifth wheel. So this is just basically a nut. You just want to go up here and wiggle and make sure everything is tight, nothing's loose, and you're in good shape there on the trailer end of everything. So for your lights. Luckily, when it did happen, I do carry wire connectors with me. I carry a box of an assortment of different type of connectors, butt connectors, all types of connectors. It's a small plastic tray. So this is an example of an electrical connector box kit that I keep with me. And as you can see, I have all different types of different sizes, gauge wire from about 10 gauge all the way up to about 16 gauge is what I have connections for. I even have some large stuff here for looks like 6 gauge and 8 gauge. This is 6 gauge, and where these can come in handy is when you have say maybe 4 10 gauge wires that you want to all crimp together. You could use one of these large connectors. So these large connectors do come in handy for certain applications. But yeah, I've got all kinds of things. I got a little junction block here. I've got extra fuses. So this definitely comes in handy, and it's with me at all times. The other tools, some electrical tape, and this is a wire stripper that I absolutely like. I've been recently using one of these, and I really like it. This is a Klein, definitely money well spent, and this will strip wires from 14 gauge all the way up to 20 gauge, it looks like. And then I also recently picked up one of these wire crimper tools. This is made by Ideal, and I really like this one a lot because of how it crimps the wires. It gives a really a good solid connection on this type of shape, the way this die is on this tool. So yeah, these are just a couple of really essential tools needed for to fix a small electrical repair. Always have those on you at all times, because this happened to me not too far. Well, I was almost leaving quartzsite when it happened. So yeah, it's definitely really important to have all of these extra tools and materials with you to do repairs yourself. show you guys this really cool wash over here. It's really deep. It's like a huge canyon. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.